Right. I'm recording everything, so.
Alright.
What's happening, man?
Hello, Kobe.
I didn't know you were a monk now.
Kobe Sugihara Bell.
Alright, since he's not gonna kick it off, I will kick it off. What's up, guys? We're here with another episode. I guess our second episode. I'm deeming this PsychTalk. I don't know if Patrick's deeming it, so maybe he can tell you what he's deeming it.
I'm deeming it Talk Psych.
Alright, well, he's just trying to flip it and reverse it, like Missy Elliott over here, so. He has a little topic going on right now, so we'll get right into it. Go ahead.
So the topic today is what gives you life? What activities,
My mama gave me life.
mentalities, what? Can you wait till I finish? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that was rude. That was very rude. I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't know if you know how a conversation works, but first you have to let the person talk and finish their statement.
Go ahead,
Thank
sir.
you.
Go ahead, sir.
So we're just going to talk about what gives us life and what things that we do that give us energy throughout the day. Now the camera's on me. I'm under pressure. But yeah. Kobe broke it down into categories, or he inquired about the categories. Do you mind telling them which categories?
Yeah. Yeah, so when Patty told me about this topic, I was just confused. So I asked him if it was like emotional energy or emotional life, physical life or spiritual life, or just anything else. Maybe some other people out there have different categories. But those are my three categories that I break down when he first mentioned this topic. So, yeah, do you want to go first with one of those categories? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely one that we share, which is basketball.
Yeah, of course, that's physical. That's physical energy.
Physical. So every time that I play basketball, or there are times that I have an urge to play basketball, it's sometimes when I have a long day.
Yeah.
At work, or just if something's kind of off in my mind, you know. So I just go play basketball, I shoot around, and just get lost in the thought, put on some music, and it is relief, you know.
Yeah, that's actually
playing around, working on the form, like you're just in the moment, and I feel like that's one of the factors that you can tell that it gives you life, it gives you energy, is that you're just zoned in on the task at hand.
Yeah.
Shooting free throws, a little off, my elbow wasn't straight, my knees weren't bent enough.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And that's when you know you're just being in the moment, and you're focused on the task. And to me, that's where basketball is. It becomes second nature. So your muscle memory has already developed.
It's already on point. You already know it, everything. Yeah.
And so you're just aware of what you need to do, what you need to adjust. And for myself, that just gives me energy and just gives me a sense of control.
Sense of control. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes we don't feel control with the things that are going on in our lives. And that sense of control, that I know what I'm doing, I know how to adjust it, I know how to fix it.
Yeah.
That is like a sense of power within. Like this is in my domain that I can do. And that helps me at the end of the day, like, oh, glad I did that. I'm glad I
knocked that session out.
A couple shots up, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually the same thing as me, like you said in the beginning. But I don't think I'd break it down just to basketball exclusively. I've kind of branched out to also just working out in general, or just maybe jogging. Not even jogging, actually walking, or just like hardcore intense hit running, just doing something physical. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think for the majority of the people, exercising just gives them more energy on a biological,
Yeah.
chemical level. So, yeah, but I think on the basketball one, it definitely rings true to anybody who plays sports, maybe, regardless of basketball, tennis, football, whatever it is. Like once it becomes second nature to you, it's just you get in your zone, you put in the work, you turn your mind off, and you get in tune with your feelings.
Right.
But yeah.
And of course, the bio side of it. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah, go. Yeah.
Releasing endorphins,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and that chemical balance that exercise brings is in itself. I don't know the word for it.
Pleasure.
But it's, healthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit tidbits of like oxytocin being released and serotonin and all that. Probably not a big or vast majority of them, but probably a nice amount just to get that little feeling going to put you in that nice direction.
Yeah.
Is there anything other physical activities or events that give you energy or give you life?
I personally just like working on little hands-on things.
Like arts and crafts?
What? That's physical.
Okay, go ahead.
I do like making things.
No,
I like
okay.
building and like
Mm-hmm.
creating things. Of course, I'm not an artist myself. Like, if there's anything,
This guy is a music producer,
like
ladies and
that.
gentlemen. Do not listen to what he's saying right now. He is an artist. Everything he does is an art form. Sorry to cut you off, but I had to put things in perspective for the viewers.
No, I know I can't draw. That's like one of my
When your drawbacks.
not drawbacks,
Pun
but
intended.
weaknesses
Oh, okay.
that I kind of gave up on a long time ago. Second or third grade,
Mm-hmm.
I was comparing my little picture to my friends.
And you were like,
I'm
nah.
like-
Hey, but you can dance though. You can dance. That's an art form.
If the knee holds up. If the knee holds up.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay.
Dancing, yeah, that's good. That's another one. But it's not like I'm one of those that does any choreography or creates anything
Mm-hmm.
of mine. I do find myself dancing every now and again just because I'm in the
Because it's
mood
fun.
already. But
It's fun.
for the sake of giving me,
Mhm.
like doing it intentionally for giving me,
That energy, that little boost.
yeah, maybe my car.
Man, you dance everywhere. I know you dance everywhere. You're probably dancing up and down the stairs in the morning, going to bed at night.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I will confirm it. Yes. All right. Which next one do you want to move on to? Or I mean, are there any other physical ones that you haven't mentioned or we haven't talked about?
Not at the moment, no.
Mhm.
I'm sure things will come up. I just like doing little things. Yesterday I found peace with, like, I have a little slingshot.
Yeah.
One of my
The
birthday
video you
gifts
shot me,
a
yeah.
long time ago for a friend, yeah.
You have some skills with that one.
What was it?
You have skills with that one.
And yeah, even that I can just practice for a good 30 minutes or so, just going back and forth, hitting
Mhm.
targets and setting it back up, and like it's nothing, and
Yeah.
time will go by.
Yeah.
So I was just doing little things like that, some off type of activity or skill that will consume my time for a good amount, and I would feel good afterwards.
Yeah, that's also another physical thing that you can classify. Yeah, I guess anything physical activities that gives you gratification should give you energy, and I mean that can apply to anybody universally too. So it doesn't have to be just making something or playing a sport. Maybe it's cooking, or maybe it's what else is physical? Maybe it's playing a video game, or I don't know. I think they get the point on that, on the physical stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go to emotional or spiritual next?
We can go to emotional.
Emotional? All right.
How do you feel? What are some things that come to mind?
Emotional
Emotional needs to give
energy.
you energy.
I think of like mental awareness and like your brain working at top capacity, top function, and just like just what's that word? All your neural connections in your brain are firing on all cylinders, and you're just right on top of everything. So I think for me, emotional energy. Oh, that's a tough one. Let's see. What do I do for emotional energy to like de-stress after a nice long day?
Right.
Well, the honest answer is I crack open a beer, and that chemically does stuff to you, as we both know. So
you get the physical, like
to taking the cap off. That's true too. That's true. But I guess it just puts me in a good mood. And in no way do I always have to rely on that. It's just maybe I had a tough day at the office or something. It's like, man, let's crack open this beer. But maybe I might have gone into a fight with a friend or something. For me, I like being alone, and I like sorting through my feelings and actually just like going over what happened in the situation and everything.
Right.
So in order for me to get back that energy, I need to keep everything back in perspective and just sort out all the facts. And then just knowing the truth, and like if I was out of line or if that other person was out of line, that just gives me energy itself. Because I mean, that'll let me know, okay, do I need to apologize? Or I mean, what has to happen on the next steps? So, but other than that, it's just sometimes I'll wear my emotions on the sleeve, and if I'm excited and happy, I mean, I'm sure you can tell. And if I'm a little bit more reserved, then I gotta talk myself out of it. Because I mean, I find it pretty easy for myself to get back up in good spirits. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
What about you?
What about you? Oh, I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
So you talked about those times with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like when you said when you need to apologize? You think about it. So what does it look like when you need to apologize compared to when you don't believe you need to apologize?
Like the whole situation or my mindset? Or,
yeah.
I know,
what
like
is your mindset?
I know, like back in
where do you find peace?
Where do I find peace?
Yeah, within the context of both situations.
So I know, like back in high school, I would always overthink, just because I mean, like I'd overthink in high school. We don't know what's going on, so I would take like every little detail of every conversation and just like pick them apart. And if things didn't line up with how I wanted them to go, like how I played them out in my mind, I would overanalyze and I'd overthink, and then sometimes maybe I'd come back with like a low blow with them or against them or something, and then that would start a little fight, and we would go our separate ways, not talk for maybe a day or something. And my peace in those situations was literally getting in my car and just driving up on a mountainside and just looking down on everybody and just trying to put everything in perspective.
And looking down on everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Literal and
literal.
Figurative.
No, but I mean...
All right.
Yeah.
We're learning about Kobe.
Yeah, it put things in perspective. You go up on a mountainside and you just see all the little cars driving around, and you just realize how small everybody is. So, I mean, it helped me for the better of it.
Yeah.
What about you?
And that's good that you knew what works for you in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, I had to try a lot of things, because for a long time it was only basketball, probably like for you. It was basketball's my only sanctuary. And then when I started thinking like, okay, can I really take basketball farther than just college? It started sinking in like, okay, maybe I gotta start finding something new. And this damn recorder is not recording, my goodness. I'm sorry. That is very mad. I mean, making me mad. But, yeah, that's my stuff, so. Now's your turn. Emotional, energy, life.
Emotional. Just the other day, I think it was, I was feeling a little off. I don't know about what exactly.
On Monday or Tuesday?
One of those days.
Probably Monday, because it's always feeling off on those Mondays.
That was my birthday on Monday, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, still, your mind don't know that.
It's funny, but it's true.
No, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just feeling off, and so I'm going to talk about emotional, and then it might blend into the spiritual.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, what helps me, I'm not too well versed in it, but loving kindness, meditation type of things.
Yeah.
And for me, what I interpret it as, or how I approach it, is I just send positive vibes out to not only to others, but make sure you send, if you try this technique, you can physically talk to yourself in the car. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just want to send Kobe some love. I didn't say that though. I didn't use that name.
Look at this fool.
But I was like, yeah, send my family, give them strength, give them peace, prosperity, and
just sending good vibes their way.
Yeah, an important thing is to make sure you send them to yourself too.
Oh yeah.
Just like hoping that good vibes come my way, you know. And another, even further than that, is you send love to. So first, it starts off with like the family, friends. It goes to strangers. Maybe it goes to people you don't like.
Yeah.
People you have a little bit of negative energy when you're thinking about this person. So I'm going to send some positive vibes, send some good vibes over to that person, which for whatever reason or another. Just all around being at peace, you know, knowing that you're just wanting to send out good energy to people, whoever may be, people who may have done you wrong in the past, or people you don't like, you know?
Okay. So, I mean, you said you just did it Monday or Tuesday, yeah?
Yeah.
Was that to yourself? Was that to everybody? I mean, what was that?
It usually starts off with friends and family, then like myself. I don't think I got to strangers at this point, but I usually say like everyone. I try to include everyone. And then this is where it blends into the spiritual, where I would, at times I talk to God while I'm driving. And it's probably one of the only times that I talk to God is when I'm driving.
Okay.
There have been, of course, other times at church and whatnot, but I don't frequent church on a regular basis.
Yeah, how often do you go to church? I was going to ask that.
If at all, handful of times a year.
A year? Oh, dang. I thought you went at least like maybe once a month or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a churchgoer, but I believe in God.
Okay. I can get down with that.
Yeah. So, and I get into the spiritual, where I thank God for all my blessings, and I count those blessings. Part of, I think it's also another aspect of loving kindness is you verbalize. You don't have to verbalize, but you verbalize your blessings. Like, thank you for the upbringing that I had. Thank you for the roof over my head this whole time, and the opportunities that you continue to give me.
Just every little thing.
Yeah, and it can go as far as that. You can also say thank you for like the Chipotle I ate the other day. Like, that was good. Yeah, and it made me feel good.
Yeah.
I was fulfilled.
Okay.
Thank you for not making me feel sick when I ate that 16-ounce steak. You know.
And 2 bites.
And I only say that because I had steak on Monday, but
Because it was your birthday.
it was after the fact. But it's just things like that give me energy, because it when you verbalize it, when you do the whole thought process of how many things that you're grateful for, how many things that you're blessed, you appreciate more. And it just, I don't know, when I thought about it, when I'm just like naming all these things that I'm thankful for, I just end up smiling at the end.
How can you not smile, right, when you surround yourself with all the blessings that you have, or remind yourself of all the blessings that you have? I get that. Yeah.
That is where my spiritual energy, that's where I get that from.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, my spiritual energy, it didn't really manifest until like recently. I always bounced around. Well, when I was younger, my mom, she put me in Catholic school and tried to raise, I was raised Catholic. And I think around in high school time, I stopped going because I just didn't believe in anything that they were saying, and it felt more like a cult, honestly, just because it's like, yo, if you're gonna do this is frowned upon, but if you just say that, like 5 Hail Marys, you're good, we're cool, just don't do it again, or like stuff like that. So I wasn't with that part, and so only like recently, like I'd say within like the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, I just wanted to find a different way, like not a holistic way, but just a different perspective or different outlook on how the spiritual aspect is looked. And I not stumbled upon Nikola Tesla. I'm sure a lot of people know him, and he's famous for inventing the Tesla, of course. But one of his famous quotes is, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I'm pretty sure you hear me talk about energy and frequency and vibration. And if you don't, well, I mean, I should talk about it more. The whole premise of that is basically everything has an energy source to it, and with that energy source comes a frequency, and then in turn that frequency translates into a vibration. So EFV has kind of been my resolve, I guess, for a spiritual energy, because I mean, it kind of got me my current job now. I was just talking about this with my coworker today too, and we were just reminiscing on how things played out and how everything really was in my favor. So, like, long story short, I got my degree, my master's, in May of last year, 2018.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Right then and there, I just quit my up-and job. I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm on to bigger, better things, blah, blah, blah. And I thought everything was going to be good. I'd find a job in like a month or so. And that was like super, super positive thinking. I went like 4 months, 5 months without a job. But throughout that whole time, I was staying positive. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to find something that I can utilize my degree with. And I'm not going to get down on myself. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And so I just, like, over that course of that time, I was talking to my boss, well, the guy who's my boss now, through Instagram, just checking up like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And the cards were in my favor. Things worked out. They called me back for an interview. And now I'm working for them, and now I'm trying to move on to bigger, better things. So the whole premise of EFV is just, if you think it and you feel it, and you put that energy out, it's bound to come to you. Whether or not it's in a day, a week, a month, years, a decade, or a century. As long as you're putting out that energy, it's going to be attracted to you. And I think it's very different than the law of attraction. Because, I mean, the law of attraction, it's kind of one-dimensional, in my opinion.
Why is that?
That's it. They're just saying, when I first learned about it, it was kind of like okay, if you want to attract something, you need to have this, or you need to do this. And I mean, we can go about doing something every day with like no energy or no effort or no thoughts behind it. And that's kind of like the whole premise with the energy, frequency, and vibration. Like, you literally have to put all your thoughts and your emotions and your energy into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you see me wear those lokai beads, and also like monk prayer beads or stuff like that. And I actually pick out a saying, whatever I want to do, and I'll chant however many times I feel is enough. But in that sentence that you pick out, you actually have to define each word and sentence. So, for example, like if I wanted to change my life around, I would pick a certain sentence of my choosing, which would be, I would like a change in my life. So that sentence, I would like a change in my life, you would have to take every word in that and define it. So me, Kobe, him, myself, and then you so on and so forth on each of those. And whenever you do acknowledge that, then that gives you more of that positive energy or that vibration that you want to go towards or shift towards or have come towards you. And so the first one that I did throughout my job searching when I did get, or when I did finish the school was, I'll stay hungry. And I broke that down. I, me, Kobe, Sugihara Bell, myself, will never keep my head down, blah, 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 stay. What did I use? Well, the words I used for stay. I used unrelenting, because I mean, for me, when I'm staying, it's like it just, I'm doing it because I want to do it. I'm staying here. I'm gonna stay the course. Like, I'm gonna be relentless in what I want to do. And then hungry, I defined as never satisfied, never settle, always look for opportunities, stuff like this. And whenever I chanted those sayings, I'll stay hungry, I just felt much, much better after. And those vibrations were sent out to global clinical trials, my current job, and I mean, I have it now. So I'm a firm believer in EFV.
Nice.
And yeah.
When to maybe entertain the whole spiritual aspect of it.
Yeah.
When you do these things via EFV, and that you believe that it'll come back to you, do you mean that it is coming back to you in this, like, life?
Like the physical form? Light
source?
Yeah.
The physical?
Yeah.
Or can it come back to you in other aspects?
Maybe. Perhaps. I mean, we haven't got there. I haven't got there yet. I mean,
right.
I can only speak on the here and the now and this life. And it's not so much of like coming back to you. It's more like your paths are going to cross, or your paths are bound to cross. So it's not like you're wishing for something. It's not like you're sending an SOS signal out. It's basically like you establishing like a plane of energy. And then if this energy is above you and you're like right here, you're just going to keep going on your ways, and you're going to keep staying on the energy. And then you're obviously, well, not obviously, but you're bound to link up with someone of that same energy and that frequency and vibration.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely.
I don't know about the. I kind of want to dip into transcendence, like that's kind of the feel that I get that you're asking about. No.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope it does, because I mean. Well, I mean, first, do you believe in ghosts and like all the spirits and all that type of stuff?
I believe in ghosts. I don't know how I define ghosts, just like off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm a heavy believer in
there are
that.
spiritual beings.
Yeah.
Whether or not they are like qualitative good and bad spiritual beings, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I do believe in spirits, like, well, for me, it was people who pass. I believe that our loved ones are watching over us, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a sense. But, I mean, I don't know what what's the definition of a ghost and a spirit?
Okay.
What's the difference?
Well, I was just bringing that up because I mean they're basically balls of energy, and I mean if you encounter a spirit or a ghost or whatever you want to term it or call it, deem it, like that's just pure energy from the earth coming up. And so I mean if someone has an evil enough energy, yeah, they're going to be able to stay there. So I mean I don't see why not. If someone has a good enough energy, why they still wouldn't be around. I mean,
again, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean we're only in this
science,
one dimension. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's us.
That's our physical, emotional, and spiritual.
Yeah.
Anything that.
How does that? Are there any psychology terms that you would sprinkle into this conversation? One that we know is cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thought process of cognitive dissonance in regards to having a mentality that will give us more energy or an outlook?
Hold on, I gotta look it up because I forgot it. Because we learned this in you know whose class. You know who we talking about. No, hopefully they don't. Edit it out. Let's see. No, don't. It's the mental discomfort is beliefs, ideas, or values. This discomfort is triggered by a situation in which a person's belief clashes with new evidence perceived by the person. Okay, so I guess I could take this for the emotional route.
Yeah. So let's give an example of cognitive dissonance first.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
So in my understanding of what cognitive dissonance is, say you applied for a job, you really wanted this job.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't get that job.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a contradicting belief of this, if I would have gotten this job, I would have had this better lifestyle. I would have had a better quality of life.
Yeah.
As opposed to the reality of this is not the job that you got. So in order to resolve that contradiction, you make peace with, okay, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the best opportunity for me, and there will be others out there.
Yeah.
Is my understanding. That could be completely.
No, I mean, that's the way I understand it.
Cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm. It's the idea of two clashing ideas. For the example that I was going to use is when I have that rough day at work and I open the beer. Maybe someone does resort to that heavy drinking, and the family member does step in. They're like, "Hey, you know what? This isn't a healthy habit. I think you should take it back." So on one hand, they think, "You know what? I'm not a heavy drinker. I just had a bad day at work every day, coming home throwing back 4 to 6 beers a night." They get that new information of, "Hey, it's not a healthy habit. Please rethink how you want to successfully get out of this bad mood without this extra alcohol or substance usage, I guess." So I think that would be a prime one for me, for my example. Just relating it, throwing it in psychology terms.
Yeah.
I think for the physical, if someone said "Oh, there's a new study that basketball isn't good for you. It's not healthy for you. It destroys your joints. It does all these types of stuff," and a whole lot of stuff that we know is not true. But I mean, just for the sake of this example, then
we're gonna discredit that.
Yeah, check no.
Reject this peer-reviewed article about how basketball is bad for your life.
But this person hasn't even played a day in their life.
What does this person know about basketball?
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that would be our long life idea or perception of basketball versus scientific hard data, and we would try and have to sort all that ish out.
Yeah.
What about you? Any other examples that you can think of?
There are probably plenty that we can get into.
Yeah. I mean, we're pushing 36 right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean.
What advice would you have for other people in the sense that maybe they don't know exactly how to channel that energy or to search for that energy when they need it?
I think as is with anything with psychology, it's all experimental. Yeah, you have to just try things. If something works for you, it works. Feed off that. If it doesn't work, at least you tried it. You know it's not something for you. Then you can move on to something else. But I think that's the first step. You gotta try. Honestly, just try something new. Like if you're a homebody and you're like, man, why am I always depressed or something like that? Maybe it's just for the simple fact you need to get some sunlight or something. So yeah, I think that'd be my advice. Just try. Don't be afraid to try. You're gonna fail, and that's a good thing. But don't be afraid. What about you?
I would say brain part. By the way, yeah, it happens. But I would say just to not be afraid of change, not be afraid of adapting.
Yeah.
If things aren't going how you thought they would be, if things aren't what they planned, and if something that has been working in the past isn't anymore, don't be afraid to take a step back, get a different perspective. Yeah, take a look at it from a different angle and just adapt to the situation, because that's what life is about. I mean, we go through changes.
Yeah.
We go through phases. We go through different age ranges, and along with those age ranges come the social, societal norms,
yeah.
you know, of just going through life.
You gotta adapt.
So don't be afraid to embrace the change.
Embrace. Yeah, man, I fully agree with that. So yeah, does that wrap things up with this one or no?
You trying to rap? A couple bars, send us out. You know?
you trying to step up to the plate?
Not me.
I'm not a rapper. But yeah, so I guess that'll wrap things up for this second episode. Psych Talks or Talk Psych, whichever channel or podcast you go on.
Working title, by the way.
Work in progress. It's a little cognitive dissonance right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be our second one in the books. Thank you to Patrick again for always being the gracious man he is.
Appreciate you. Always.
And we will catch you guys on the next one. Aloha.